Hello, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Probably a shorter little stream. We'll see how it goes. First thing I want to do, I'm going to try and get that that Vulkan example to work on Windows, which may prove to be very difficult, but we'll see. Just to rule out Linux as the problem, or like Vulkan 1.4 or something like that. So that's what we'll do tonight first. And then if it works on Windows, we know it's something about Linux or Vulkan 1.4. And then if it is the same problem on Windows, then we know there's something up with the code, and then I just gotta kind of debug it. So I think maybe what I'll do is we'll go see about debugging tools for this stuff. So maybe we'll explore like RenderDoc or other things we can do. Like, how would you debug this? Which is probably gonna be pretty important, right? Yeah, so anyways, give me a second while I get the code down, and then, yeah, we'll just get the Vulkan. All right. Let's see, do I have it already? Oh, why are you doing that? Oh no, do I have a classic? All right, let me see. Let's go over here. All right, let's just confirm it works on this side. Okay, that's working. Okay, I'm probably gonna just have to rsync it over. But let's just run it. Yeah, it's still busted. Let's just triple check, make clean, and make run. Hey, C# boy, how you doing? Yeah, I think it's still gonna be busted on Windows, but I do actually have to kind of get stuff working on Windows anyways, so worth the check. Okay, cool. Back over here. Hey, Kitsap. Yeah, been a minute. How you been? Okay, that's better. Let me see. Hold up. Okay, we're gonna have to remember this. Grab that. Okay, great. So then let's go to I believe the problem with this is that the STL library doesn't work, and also Vulkan. I think there's something we're missing to get Vulkan to work on Windows. All right. All right, let's do the reset. Okay, let's look at what we need. Vulkan on Windows. do we need for this? Oh, glasses are disgusting. I need to get new glasses. Ugh. I am tangled up in every cable. Okay. So I gotta download something. So if there's a better guide than just like a bunch of links to an SDK that... actually, I should see if Winget has something. These glasses are so bad. Let's just double check. Maybe Winget's got something. Okay, yeah, maybe we got lucky. Let me run it again. Looks like Cronus Group. Vulkan Runtime, Vulkan SDK. Okay. 1.4. Okay, so try it. And I think that's the same or close to the same version as on Linux. Also, we'll probably have to do render doc too. Let's see, Kitsap. All right, day job went upside down for a minute. Ended up scrambling to a new job. Oh, within the same company. Oh, okay, that's good. Okay, and then we also want SDK. And I think we also need slang. What is this? Yeah, it's good that you're able to find a job within the same company. Oh, interesting. Oh, it's got a lot of people have contributed to this library. Crazy. All right. Hey, Carmenzel. How you doing, man? Turkey Day? Yeah, it was good. I had like just a small chicken. I really don't like turkey. Turkey's not very good. Unless you like brine the shit out of it and deep fry it, it's not very good. I feel like this is not going to go well. We'll see how this goes. Oh, Qt installer framework. Oh no. All right, we'll see what happens. It could be worse, I suppose. Oh. Port master time. Let me guess. The installer wants to talk to the internet. That looks like that's the last one. Okay. And then let me see. Last thing. Do I have render dock already? I do. 1.41. Okay, I got the last one. Yeah, we'll have to use... I kind of want to take what I've got, because it's broken, right? I kind of hope it's broken only... like, broken everywhere. And then try to find out how would you debug it. And I think we also need this. Yeah. Open Capture and Analytics tool. I don't know. Also, I don't know about that. Okay. Okay, that works. Okay, so then we'll just have to compile. Okay, yeah, we got to exit, start the new shell. Okay, now let's see what we got. All right, let's see what happens. So hopefully that gives me access to the library, but I think I got to add it here. Yeah. And then also SDL2 main seems to not work. So that's the next thing I have to do. Okay, cool. What are we missing? All the Vulkan stuff. Alright, so you just gotta find out what the dependency name is. It's interesting that Linux didn't need that. Okay. Am I gonna have to search for the library name? Let's make a guess. Let's try that. Let's just wing it, see what we come up with. And I don't think I need OpenGL. I'm not sure why I would need that. Like, it's kind of the point is to not have it. Probably gonna be the same here. I'm gonna have to try this on OS 10 next. Yeah, okay. I mean, it didn't complain. Did we just get lucky? So that leaves SDL2 as the only thing. Okay. All right, so we're going to hunt down the library we need. Okay, cool. If we look for this and Windows, there's probably like an extension library we need. Well, yeah, that didn't work. Didn't find anything. Let's see. Nope. Mode. No, it's not that. Probably Vulkan. Oh man. What library gives me that? Did they mention it? There's probably gonna be like 50. Like 50 different libraries you have to include. Oh hey, Fern! We got a raid. Yeah, let me give everybody a break from the extremely bright. Hey Fern, thank you for the raid. How's it going? Yeah, thanks everybody. We're trying to get Vulkan, a Vulkan program. Oh, I should give everyone the code to this thing. I'm learning Vulkan. If you haven't tried it, it's a treat. More than a treat. Here we go. Vulkan code. Okay, I'm gonna give everybody access to this code. I'm just going through a tutorial, but it's at a point where it doesn't work, and I'm kind of curious. I need to get it to build on Windows anyways, but I'm kind of curious what it is. And also, here's the code to my game. Koala Magu, I am always ready to be followed. Online. Not in person. Anyways, Fern. It's going silly mode. Oh, 1 whole year. Yeah, nice. Nice, man. Is anybody else gonna add a question? All right, cool. Isn't Vulkan limited to certain GPUs? No, it's pretty much everywhere. Yeah. I mean, all 2. I'm actually getting Intel Arc GPU to try out video encoding with. Cost $102 Black Friday sale, which means it's always been $102. So we'll see. I'll put it in my main PC and we'll see if it improves video encoding. It's like a 360. What is it? Arc 360 or something? And mail pictures of cats to people. I think that's a good way to get people to not. Because they like cats, yeah. That sounds like, don't threaten me with a good time. Anyway, so what we're trying to do, we have a build here that we're doing. And there's a library. I got to find whatever library has this that we're missing. And then I think we're good. So we got to hunt that down. But actually, since everybody's here, let me show you my game I work on in my spare time. And I have a whole ton of random code. If people are into Go programming, I got Go code. I got everything. You name it, I got it. Can you actually send me that tape on hard media? The old school way. So this is a game that I work on. It's hand-coded C++, and I actually paint. Everything on here is painted by me. And then I run it through a pixelator. I call it the Jankifier. Gives it that 80s look. Let's see what we got. And it's a dungeon crawler. Kind of old school style, Baldur's Gate. You craft up little magic things based after you kill enemies, you get their stuff. Yeah, like this guy. and you do magic, and he dies, and then you collect his body, and you can make more. Oh, wait. And you can pick up potions and heal yourself. Like that. And you go through the dungeon, and you try to kill things to get yourself more powerful. And find healing. Like this. Oh, there we go. And then eventually you'll find the exit to the next level, which will start a cutscene. I had to make a whole cutscene system. This is all hand-coded. It's all C++ and a little bit of JSON files. So everything's configured. I'll play this cutscene because it's ultra cringe. I had to do a fake recording, but basically all it's doing is it's panning through a comic book panel kind of image, right? And do the pannings. But I'll show you this. And then you go to a boss fight. And this whole thing is described with like some JSON files that I create. And so you fight the boss, and he does that. And you do this, and then he does that. He does this. Lots of camera shake. I'm going to like actually make it nice and point at the right thing. And not like crazy like this. So what I might work on tonight, if I can get the Vulkan thing to work, is the turn-based combat. And one of the things that makes it more complicated is you actually are not this character. You're controlling this character. So you're like a parasite controlling the host. And so you actually have to tell it what to do, but then it has its own AI. I have like a little AI algorithm called goal-oriented action planning, and it decides if it agrees with you or not. So sometimes it might not do what you say. And then after you defeat the boss, if you defeat the boss, you go back and you go to the next dungeon, finding secrets, getting loot to kind of make yourself more powerful, keep going. And then it's a roguelike, so if you die, which I haven't actually implemented yet, you start over, you have nothing in here. You lose all this, you lose any of this stuff you get, but you keep all of this stuff. So any magic that you create, you keep. And then you do a run again. That's the whole thing. Well, AI is just the random, or is it more... yeah, it's using an algorithm that's actually pretty smart. So the main thing is that some of the enemies or some of the hosts that you have will have like not a tough personality. They'll have like a weak personality. So like when they get hurt, they'll run away. Other ones will have a psychotic personality where they won't heal, just keep fighting until they die, right? So different things like that. And then what I can do is I can actually configure them. If we do this. So I just do it in here. So I set a profile. This is kind of like all the conditions you can have for an enemy. And then I have different things they can do. So if they want to run away, then it'll say, okay, if they have don't have a tough personality, they're in combat, they don't have healing, their health's not good, and they can't move, then they're gonna run away. And their goal is to get away and not be in combat anymore. So if that's what they're going to do, that's what they do. And then once I have those actions, I can come in and say, okay, hosts, they can do this, 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 and this. Enemies can do this, this, and this. And then I just give that to everybody and I go run. And they just kind of run and they do their thing. Gets alive because it can all. Yeah, exactly. Fern with the lurk. All right, thank you. And so, yeah, so I've just been kind of just winging it. This is more or less kind of like the second or third game I've made. I've only been gamed for this year, but I'm an extremely accomplished programmer. Just never did games. And also do painting, too. So I got to just finish this painting. I'll show you the painting. And I have the next subject we're going to do for painting. I'll show everyone the paintings I do. And then we're going to try and get Vulkan to work, which, you know, means tracking down libraries and stuff. There you go. This one I did today. It's based on a photo I took in Hawaii. Pretty much a study of clouds. The foreground's kind of meh. I should have done a different foreground. So I do paintings like that. Let's see, I did another one. Also in Hawaii. Just a truck. Old rusted truck. And I also do academic studies. So this is trying to make a copy of this on the left using only the palette knife, this one brush, run tool. So there you go. Can you make us the new Ep03 system? Probably not. Are you still working on this art? No, I kind of get it to a point and then I move on. But sometimes if you keep touching the painting, it makes it worse. It's kind of like when you cut your finger. Sometimes touching it a bunch makes it worse. Okay, so let's see. We got projects. Where are we at? Learn Vulkan. Oh, and if people want to learn Vulkan, I mean, you don't need to. Just go use a game engine. That's all I got to say. But if you're interested in it, go here. That's the guide that I'm following. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing to run. All right, let's look at Vulk. And then what other API would I need? And let's also look at VMA. They might have some recommended libraries. It's really interesting. You didn't have to do any of this. Huh, interesting. Not sure if I need that. Okay, we can possibly look at that. Let's see if they have... Yeah, GitHub. Do they have a CMake? They do. Okay. Does it mention what libraries you need? Alright, it doesn't mention it in this. Windows, VMA, Vulkan, required. Let's see if somebody's kind of got it. Let's see if the AI helps us out. No. Okay, let's try that. Let's try this. No. Alright, yeah, gotta skip that. Okay, here we go. CMake build VMA samples on. No, yeah. Not listed. Okay. All right then. Let me see. What do we got? Let's see where Vulkan SDK, Lunar G, Vulkan SDK. I think I'm honestly gonna have to like look for like I could use this thing called Wiz file, I bet. God, it's just I don't understand why people don't just say these are the libraries that are included. It's pretty simple. All right, we'll let that run. Let's see if we can sort out documentation, getting started. Install the SDK. They have their own SCL2. Okay, if they all learn optional components, all right. Apparently that doesn't exist. That's awesome. I love it. I just love that. How about this? No, you guys are liars. All right. All right, so that's nothing. All right, so that's just the installer. I don't know why Windows people are so into GUI configuration tools. Like, it's really, like, just give me docs, man. It's so weird. Okay, go away. Okay. No idea why VMA is missing it, and it's super annoying. Also, why is there a Qt installer? Let's see what else we got. Okay, so we have multiple options here. I'm just looking at a tool that searches my entire... Is it Vulkan-1? Okay, so we got a possible Vulkan-1 and Vulkan 64. Let's try this out. All right. Sometimes GUI depends on requirement, like perforce. Some things it's like, oh, thank God I have perforce for this. It would be a nightmare otherwise, but other times it's just super quick. Just run P4 in the terminal. Oh, this is more just like configuring a build. So if you just tell me what libraries I need, like this library depends on these, and then it should just run it. But if they want me to run a configuration tool, like I sort of like go, do you know how your thing works? Like anytime someone's like, they only have Docker or they only have a GUI config tool, I'm like, you don't really know how your software works, do you? Because you should be able to document it, list like these are the things that I need. And then the GUI tool is just sort of like an additional nice thing. Ice coding cat implemented my own C++ string class with small string optimization in it. Nice, nice, okay. That's good. Okay, dependency loop for Vulkan 1. Interesting. Why? Wait, so... Okay, let's try Vulkan. Wait, but who else is including Vulkan, and then why are they including it wrong? I swear the only reason dependency hell exists is because people don't document their dependencies. I think this is just not in the path. Oh, is this another? Okay, so Microsoft does this thing a lot where they don't add things to the path after you do winget. Yeah, no Vulkan 64, so... Interestingly, there seems to be... Hold on. Okay, it looks like Vulkan just... Yeah. Okay, so here's a Lua file and a random project. That's it. Okay. Okay, so here's possibly some code that can help us figure this out. From X, okay, Vulkan info SDK.exe. Let's look for that. Okay, we're getting somewhere. All right, so we have instances. Does it tell us what libraries we need? We have devices, synchronization 2, profiles, API dump, validation. Okay, this is great. This is great. I'm going to put this in do I not have a readme? What? All right, notes. What's the name of this magic tool? Vulkan Info SDK. And let's also do ugrep DLL. Alright, so this, let's see if it has a help option. Well, that's kind of interesting. All right, so this is, where's my mouse? Okay, here's an HTML version of it. Of course, it looks awful. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so those are all the extensions and everything. Okay, these are the different layers. All right, presentable surfaces, GPU ID 0, and Radeon. Okay, because I have an internal GPU that I don't really use. Device properties. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't help us figure out what library we need to make this work. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, let's go look at VK Guide real quick. Also, his code. Yeah. Project setup. Code walkthrough. Okay, building the project. Okay, so he's just assuming you're going to use his info. Actually, let's do this. Let's go over here real quick. Okay, so testing here. Yeah, okay. All right, they don't list specific DLLs. irritating. That's why I don't like CMake, man. They hired too many things. I don't know, maybe just brute force it. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, LDD. Because it should be the same, right? Yeah, that's a good idea. They should just list what libraries you need, though, man. It's disgusting. Yeah, it's all third party. Nothing. Not one mention of a single library in this dude's CMake files. How the hell do you do that? How do you have no libraries mentioned? That's crazy. He's got some spurvy things. How is this even building? If you don't have... How are you even... Fine packaged Vulkan. Yeah, I like your idea of just LDD on it. Let me go to projects, learn Vulkan. Builder, LDD builder. Yeah, just OVDSO. No, that's probably a Linux thing. Let me just confirm. Yeah, just lib Vulkan. And it says something's missing. Yeah, virtual dynamic shared object. It's not in there. Okay, so this just has lib Vulkan. That's it. I feel like Linux really benefited from the invention of Vulkan. Because like it's no longer is it just you get just like vendors who refuse to make a GPU driver for Linux. Now you're just like, oh, everyone has to do Vulkan, so Linux is good now. And it ends up being easier. Okay, back to Windows. Yeah, man, I don't know how to solve it. We might be boned without like some expert telling you, oh, it's this. Just, Jesus, just say there's a freaking list and that's what you install. Okay, project setup, building project. First, this will contain the development headers and libraries you need to create. It's in a global location, so you don't need to worry about where it gets installed. Once CMake is installed, use CMake GUI. Jesus, man. Finish installing the Vulkan SDK. Okay, I guess we're gonna run the complete turd that is CMake GUI. Yeah, it's just it's really just missing this like probably some extension library. Okay, so let's go to get that now. Actually, let me just rsync it over. wonder if it's really not in the... Yeah, I'm surprised this isn't giving an error, because it's clearly not right. See if someone cooked up a little like C++ examples for Vulkan graphics API. Let's see if someone has like a... Find package Vulkan. Vulkan 1 and Vulkan. When I do Vulkan 1, it gives me a circular dependency, but let's try it again. I will bring that over. Nope, that's not gonna work. I gotta do this. Why would you need both? Riveting, isn't it? I wonder if I gotta do that, actually. Alright, that'll be the next thing. The wonderful C++ build process. What was this again? Oh, I just synced that over. That's fine. It doesn't even work. Crazy. This is totally different from what he's got on his instructions. No, that's Visual Studio. Okay, that makes way more sense. What the fuck is this? That's not the thing. Odd, okay. Does it mention finding the Vulkan library? That's weird. I don't think that works. Oh well. I gotta see if we got lucky over here. Okay, cool. No Vulkan 1 found. And dependency lookup for gonna... Okay, yeah. So get rid of that. Let's try this. This may be a bust, yeah. Until I can sort out how the hell you install Vulkan on your thing and use it. I'm gonna bet you anything. Winget does this thing all the time where it'll install stuff and not add it to the path so it doesn't get picked up. So next move is we use Winget to uninstall the Vulkan SDK and then we install it manually. Which is really annoying. I don't know why they do that all the time. It's actually like a single line in PowerShell to fix it, and for some reason the people in charge of Winget claim it's impossible to fix. And what's really odd is it's only things that Microsoft obviously doesn't like. So like the GCC compiler just, oh, we don't know how to add it to the path, but Visual C++, oh yeah, totally, no problem. Like, we can add that to the path. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it can't find that for sure. Oh, also I need to get rid of this. All right, let's try that next thing. We're just gonna remove Vulkan. What are you talking about? I totally installed Vulkan SDK. Okay, so maybe it just didn't even install. What are you talking about? Okay, well, let's try it again then. Oh, I really hate that because there's going to be like junk files floating around. All right, we'll try it. Give it a shot. And do I need the runtime if I do the SDK? Yes. All right, and probably it was port master. This is the thing that I use to prevent like the Ubisoft, yeah, the UPC thing from phoning home. Hey, Sint, how you doing? Okay, I didn't. For some reason, window installers have a timeout. like it's a computer. It's not a VHS tape, man. You can wait a little bit. What the fuck? God, that's so annoying. Alright, we're gonna install this. God, this is terrible. Oh my god, man. One way I found Docker useful, I have a contained environment to make a mess figuring out some setup, then only... Yeah, but none of that works with graphic stuff. You can't do that with like a Vulkan SDK or anything. Especially on Windows, right? You're not going to run Docker on Windows. Get that to work. Okay, so probably I never even installed, but it ran. What the hell? What was I installing? There was like a whole install screen. I'm gonna have to go look at the video again and wonder what the hell was getting installed. Okay, quick. Okay, so Winget apparently can't install this SDK. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, Microsoft doesn't have a competitor to Vulkan at all. A DirectX. I mean, it doesn't have any. I can't figure out why they would make it so hard to install Vulkan. It's a mystery, fellas. Oh my god. Alright, so how do we download this bitch? Oh, it's so annoying. What? It's not even asking me for a password. Jesus. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know what Microsoft's problem is, man. I mean, I do. They just have business people in charge of things that should not be in charge of. Okay, well, okay, it already exists. What the hell is going on, man? What did I install? I'm gonna assume, I mean, I don't know. Does this install just the runtime? Okay, let's just double check. No, it says it's not installed, so let's do... This is insane. Am I just naming this wrong? Alright. There's a ghost in my computer. That's the only explanation. I have the same leaders at my work. 0% of them use the app we work on. Not even UX people use it. I mean, is it something that they would use or like... I swear, you all saw me run this thing. This is crazy. It claims nothing installed. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna delete that directory then. Okay, so Winget must have botched this install. Can't uninstall it. God damn it. Oh my god, man. I probably have to run probably an admin PowerShell. Okay, so basically it looks like we were screwed over by Winget. Alright, let's try this again. It doesn't matter. RM. Okay, we have to be very careful. We don't do this the wrong way. Okay. Let's just leave that open for now. Hey, okay, we got further. Okay. Okay, so let's install everything. So this comes with all of this stuff. I don't need ARM64. But I'm also downloading this stuff. Okay, we'll try without, because I'm also just downloading it. Just the Vulkan core. That's it. I don't need Vulk. Well, I don't have Vulk. Let's go ahead and grab that. And the shader tool chain. But I'm doing my own VMA, GLM, all that. Okay. What the hell did I run? I'm going to have to go look at the video. Like, I Winget installed the SDK. Up came up a completely different UI. I know it was accessing the internet and doing all sorts of stuff. What did I install? That's crazy. It's a good app and they don't even use it, sir? Winget, well, Winget doesn't, but like my scroll back. Yeah, I'm just gonna look at the video when we're done streaming. I'm gonna cut it out and be like, what the fuck is this? Okay, let's run the configurator. This is a completely different UI. This is a totally different UI. I gotta go see what the hell I ran. This is crazy. This is nuts. It's totally different. Okay, this may be working now. We'll see. Well, this may be working. Okay, yeah, we got an API now. We can see like all the good stuff. Vulkan drivers. We got an NVIDIA. Yeah. Diagnostics, documentation. Hey, great. Okay. Hey, Vulkan hardware capability. Nice. Features, extensions, formats. Fantastic. And I have this one. I wonder if this would tell me if I'm able to do like video encoding on these GPUs faster. Okay, or it can just like lock up and tell me to go fuck myself. What the fuck is this? Die. Connecting to a database. Why are you connecting to a database? Oh my god, man. Everybody wants the internet. You watch, it's like 2 kilobytes of data. Gotta talk to the web. No, you don't. Stop phoning home. Alright, this is classic graphics developer bullshit. So because the internet is disabled, the whole application is locked up. That is like the most classic graphics dude thing ever. Like, what do you mean the internet's not available? It's exactly the same as at my office with my 10 gigabit per second 1000 base T direct connection to the massive render farm. And then it crashes. Just like a Bethesda game. Alright, well anyways, we don't need that crap. Alright, well, maybe we got lucky. Okay. We'll see if that works. The internet doesn't work, so the whole thing crashes. What do you mean the internet's down sometimes? Oh my god, man. It's just like in a video game. Everything runs perfectly all the time. All right, see what we got. I bet they had an offline check, but didn't program this case. Yes, the one instance. You know, but the thing is that's like, that's yeah, classic connect in your UI thread. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? But this is sort of like when the first thing you learn when you start doing network programming, as like a baby programmer, your first TCP IP connection, the first thing they tell you is it's unreliable. So you always handle the errors and don't try to do connections in the main thread that block it, right? First thing you learn. And then you look at anything like games, any network code in games and graphics APIs, anything like that, they just completely ignore it. They just assume that it's always connected, and they're doing stuff like right in the main thread, right on, like every time you connect. Okay, so we have a library. I'm going to bet you anything. I got to exit, update the path. Chars D, let me see. Did Winget just pull an old version or something? I know, right? It's weird. But but in the installed, if you look, when I reran the installer, it said, hey, this directory already exists. So it installed the right directory and the right version. It was just a really weird, remember it was like Qt installer, right? It was like a Qt installer thing. What the fuck did I run? Did I run like a virus delivery system? Oh no. You watch, it's like some hacked, oh well guys, if I'm even more poor than I am, it's because I got hacked. All right, let me see. Raycaster. No. Learn Vulkan. All right, let's see. All right, let's see if it finds it now. And how much you want to bet it's not called Vulkan? It's probably like Vulkan 64 or something like that. But while that runs, let's do Vulkan SDK. Vulkan 1, or so Vulk is a different one. Vulkan 1. Okay, so it's Vulkan 1 that we're kind of looking for, I think. Ben, what are you? Well, then there's all these layers. Oh my god, am I going to have to reverse engineer which of these layers that VMA thing needs? Oh, it's so bad. Yeah, too bad they don't make like just a single. All right, we'll just have to see what this does. No, this looks like maybe it's shader object profiles. This looks like it's just things that are loaded by a debug tool or something. Okay, so it looks like lib, and it's going to be Vulkan 1. Yeah, so I can't find that. All right, Vulkan 1. But in theory, maybe I don't even need that. Did I save this? All right. Last time I did network development, we had a Linux router set up for testing that would add latency, drop packets, flip bits. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, isn't that like a program? I think it's called Trash Router or something like that. That totally sounds familiar. It was like a Linux project, I think. Yeah, like if you're working on like anything network related, having something that just like gives you shit connections is the way to go. All right. You know, we need to do like something like build bets. You can bet how many times I have to build it before I get it to work. And then also, yeah, prefer static library Vulkan 1 not found. All right, well, let's delete it. Maybe now it actually builds. We don't need that. Or let's do dependency. Let's do that. Dependency. And then we'll delete it. Maybe you don't need it if you have all those other things that get the dependency already. You don't gamble on a man's misery. I actually don't mind it too much, but it's weirdly draining, right? Like, I can sit here and I can code my own game, no problem. I can sit here and make websites, you know, I'm like, yeah, this is cool. But like having to find dependencies and install them and deal with that stuff is like, it's not mentally difficult. It's not challenging, but it's very draining. Like you sit there and you're just like trying to solve insane math for like the last 6 hours. And it's only been 2 hours of trying to install a DLL or something, right? All right, so we might be hitting some weird thing where we can't have static builds of this. Yeah. But I removed that, so you are... All right, let's get rid of that and then see. I bet it's not in the path. Which really sucks. It's in there. Somewhere. Someplace. You got me, man. Okay. Legal back references. Oh wait, it's right there. Hold on. Yeah, it's the first one. It's in bin. Why is it doing bin instead of lib? Okay, so it's one of the DLLs in bin. Why? That's fucking weird. Alright, well, let's see if it runs. I doubt it's gonna build. Maybe we get lucky and then now the Vulkan stuff is found. But hold up. It has bin and path and not lib though. Yeah, right? But why? I prefer static is looking for Vulkan built as a static lib. Right. So I have to add the lib to the path. That has all the libs. There's no DLL in there. So it didn't add the lib to the path. That's why it's not getting picked up. Why would you do that? I don't give a shit about your binary. It's an SDK. It's not a command line tool set. That's stupid. Okay. All right, add that. Yeah, but it doesn't even have a Vulkan. Yeah, see, it doesn't even have the Vulkan DLL. Yeah, so see? Ben. Yeah, there's no Vulkan DLL at all. That's the only thing that mentions Vulkan. Let's look at all the DLLs. There's like VK layers, SpervD. These are all like things that are probably linked into the command line tools and the GUI tools they have. So that means I'm gonna bet we do that. Either find library or that, but then we also have to do shit, I forget how you set the god damn it. Set the Windows path. Set path in Windows. Just do equals. Oh, with PowerShell. My path is so large because winget uses the path. Oh yeah, plus equals. Okay. That the path, the default Windows path tool crashes. The high quality shit from like Windows 8. Okay, so we gotta, first off, we gotta get that path right. Okay, and then we do this. Put it first or last? Let's put it last. Okay, and then that'll temporarily add it to our path. And we're looking for Vulkan 1, which is the library that was in there. Let's double check it's Vulkan 1. Yeah, Vulkan 1 is the only library. Okay, so in theory, that's it. Hey, Peter, how you doing? I kind of like this song. It kind of fits. Maybe. All right, maybe we get lucky. No, because I think SDL2 is still busted. Because it's not loading the SDL2 main. It should, but I'm not sure why it's not. I saw Linux on your laptop. Linux Mint. Okay. Yeah, this is terrible, man. This is awful. All right, let's do CC find library. Required true. I'm just amazed, like, it's 25 years after the year 2000. I think the last time I had this much trouble with, like, something as basic as a graphics library was, like, you know, decades and decades ago. On Windows. On Linux, yeah, all the time, right? Because graphics drivers never really were, like, written for Linux. That's why I'm saying like Vulkan's probably a absolute blessing for Linux, right? Because now all the GPUs have to support Vulkan, and Linux has now direct good access straight to the GPUs, whereas before they always had to struggle with drivers and stuff, right? But I can't see why anyone would make an SDK. Why would you spend like millions of dollars, probably hundreds of people working on it, and like you're too dumb to add it to the path, right? Yeah, what is this bullshit? This is fucking garbage. It's in the path. Yeah, I mean, that's just stupid. It's so fucking stupid. How would you not know what library to use? It's also, why are you naming it Vulkan-1? Like, just call it Vulkan. Wow, that's just awful, man. I mean, we can try to get it to build with not static. Let's get rid of those. And yeah, what? Wow. That's pretty incompetent. I'm sorry. It's pretty incompetent to make an SDK and the only thing you added to the path is not the SDK. Like, weird. Here's the thing I'd like to know though, like in terms of customizability, but like, what more can you do that you otherwise can't on Windows? I don't know. Well, you definitely, I think the primary advantage with Linux today is that you avoid most of the Microsoft's attempt to basically invade your privacy at every turn, right? I think that's the thing. And honestly, they need to just be smacked down, and it needs to be crazy illegal to do that, but whatever. We live in a corporatist world, not a capitalist world. So that's the primary thing. You can basically lock it down. However, I'm going to say don't go crazy, because there's some people who just go absolutely apeshit, and they run this thing called Cubes OS, and they put every process in a separate little container, and nothing runs right, and they can't play games, they can't play videos, and it's just a nightmare. So don't go nuts with that. But otherwise, I mean, running your servers is easier. Programming is easier. So if you want to learn to code, it's easier. Yeah, C++ shared or static library Vulkan 1 not found. Yeah, no, this isn't even static is the problem. It's just not able to find that library. The cheese is strong with this song. Skip that. C and C+ libraries and dependencies and package repositories. Oh, you're saying an advantage on Linux? Yeah, I would say installing things. Downside, though, is you're at the mercy of whoever did the packaging. So sometimes that person just decides to remove shit or break things, which honestly should be considered total top-end bullshit, but they do what they want. So, for example, there's a library I use called Format, right? So for C++. And on Fedora and any Red Hat OS, they remove all of the Unicode support from the library. No reason why. Just take all the Unicode support out of it. So I can't make my game or any of my code run on Fedora. I have to actually download the library myself. Okay, well, I've added this to the path. I've done everything I can. I'm assuming it's the .lib. There's no Vulkan 1 DLL. Well, let's go see if we can make find library, just like brute force it. Yeah, it's right here. I mean, I could try copying it over, but that seems real stupid. They have a CMake. For not a damn thing I need. God, this is so bad. Alright, well, let's go see if we can get Mason to load it. Mason find library. Let's see, what options can we pass to find library? DIRs. Okay. I'm really gonna brute force the DIRs. Oh my god, man. This is so dumb. This just offends me. And I gotta think if probably need /. Let's see, Dr. Party. Also, to get good at coding is easier. Back in the day, you had to talk to the right people who know their stuff or read books. Today, you can just ask AI has to do. Oh, using for Linux? You don't need Linux for that. You can use almost any OS to access AI. Let's see, there's probably a lot of stuff that don't work. Fingerprint scan and cameras. Your base webcams will work. A lot of people who do Linux, they run OBS to do their stuff. So they're running like cameras and things like that. Let's see. Oh yeah, so let me refund those points to you, computer user, because yeah, I'm gonna be signing off pretty soon. All right. Kick some back to you. But tomorrow, yeah, we'll do the painting. We might have success. Oh, no. Did it find the library? It may have found the library. I guess get out here. Heater, let me see. The big issue was trying to get my laptop to recognize I had Mint installed. Okay, so you got past that. We're playing with settings in the BIOS. Yeah, it's always going to be BIOS, and it's almost probably... things related to, what's that, True Boot or whatever it is. Let's see, what do you recommend I look at first as a first-time Linux user? I want to feel the difference. I'm going to see what the hype is about. Secure boot. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm going to say just get your normal stuff up and running. I think that's definitely your first thing. That's definitely the first thing is get everything up and running. Like, so you got your browser, you got word processors, you got all that to work. Then first time, I can't think it, programming is the big thing. So you can set up like VS Code, or you can set up Vim or Emacs, go grab a programming language book and you can tear through it real quick. Everything will build quicker, maybe a lot easier to work with. That's kind of Linux's forte, really. Yeah, man. This is crap. What is up with this? It's so garbage. I mean, I don't know. I'm including the library. It finds it. So obviously there's some other library I'm missing. I don't even know where this depth clamp mode thing is going to be. Or why it's in Linux, but not within... So am I going to have to go into Linux and like do LDD until I find whoever has that? You know, I've done that before. Find every .so and then look for this one thing. LDD and then grep for this. We're going to have to do that to find what library to use. I don't know. Here, let me look. Source include. Is it missing an include? Hold up. What's that error? Is it an include error? No, this is an include error. Okay, this isn't a library error. This is okay, we got to tell it where to get the headers, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I misread this error. VK depth mode has not been. Why only these extensions? Why are the extensions missing? It's also not complaining about a missing header. Okay, let's see if there's like a quick clue, but I think this might be a tomorrow task. I have to enable this crap. Why do I have to do this? Wow, that's bad form, man. If Bootstrap needs it, it should be turning that shit on, not me. Why are you doing that? Is there some stupid define I have to give V? Oh my god, I hate that shit. God. Okay, alright, so this means we found the library. We do have the lib. We just have to brute force it into the location, which is terrible. We should not have to do that at all. But hey, that's the world we live in. Next, we need to get the includes. Either we're missing includes or we have to change our code, which also sucks. That means we have to have a special call out for Windows again just to get this set. Because VK Bootstrap can't pull it off. Awful. Okay, well, it's closer. Let's see. And I boot in Windows. The shortcut button for the boot menu. Oh, you had to search for the grub thing. Yeah, it looks like you got it. Yeah, and Robot J's got the best solution because you can use the Linux boot thing called grub to let you pick Windows versus Linux. Anyways, folks, all right, so I'm getting tired. I'm actually gonna call it there. This has drained all my strength. Like a vampire near garlic. So we have to figure out this define is missing. There's probably some stupid define that's only for Windows. Or we're missing an include file and I have to add the include directory. Which should be here. That's really weird. It's probably that. I might have to point it at this. I have to find out how to do that. How to tell Mason to do that. But I'm also including. Where's it at? Where's the wrap? I do have Vulkan headers. Am I including Vulkan headers? I'm not. Okay, before we sign off, here, let me snooze the... I don't want you guys to get an ad. You've given enough of your blood to the billionaires. This is probably not smart because I should use the includes from the actual install. But maybe we get lucky. Okay. And then we just need to include that here. But I don't think that's that. I think the code needs to be modified. Okay, so in theory I should just need to do a make. No. Yeah, no luck. Stupid. So it looks like VK Bootstrap, when we're on Windows, needs an extra define to enable all the features, which is just ultra stupid. Because what you're supposed to do is either VK Bootstrap turns that on. If this is correct, then VK Bootstrap has a bug. Because what you do is you include the define, or you detect that that's not defined and you don't use this stuff. So what's going on is VK Bootstrap is just going to town using a whole bunch of shit from Vulkan and leaving it to you to figure out how to turn these things on, right? So either we have to have some defines, or there's a header file that's missing, or I got the wrong versions of the header files. Yeah. Lots of bullshit. But anyways, all right, so tomorrow morning, maybe we'll keep working on this, trying to get it up and running, because I do want to see if it runs the same on Windows. If it works on Windows, that means Linux has some problem with the shader, this mini PC's GPU, something's going on, right? If it fails in the same way, then we can start debugging it, so I can run render doc and kind of see what's going on. Good morning, everybody. I should do a photo of that. All right, I figured we would continue the saga of getting Vulkan to compile. Alright, so it looks like there's like maybe a missing header file. The include directory's not there. There's a difference in the headers I have. So yeah, we'll have to sort that out. Alright, let's run the build again. Okay, let's grep for this. And I'm gonna bet it's in Vulkan headers. That's mentioned in there. Okay, source video, Chronos, Vulkan, Vulkan core. Well, that's in SDL2. I think one big problem is like every project includes the Vulkan headers. So if they don't match exactly, you probably run into issues. Okay, so VK Bootstrap mentions it. And here's the Vulkan headers here. So is it just not including Vulkan core? I mean, just do that. Okay, let's see. Well, let's just see if it's actually done that. Just implementing your string.h really teaches a lot. Oh, nice. Wait, you're doing a string thing too? Oh, because you're doing something for to make your game challenge smaller. Someone last night said they did a small string implementation too. Okay, so let's see. See, why would I have to do this? Yeah, why am I having to do that? Okay, we might have to look at like a config or something. Let's see what strncat will do. Yeah, strncat is really weird though. there some like weird error with VK Bootstrap? Yeah, why is it twice? What the hell? Okay, let's look at this. Yeah, this includes Vulkan core. So why the hell is... Yeah, why would it need to do that? Okay, maybe we need this. I'm not sure why I have to do that, but okay. Weird. Let's see, I'm not allowed to use any libraries from the OS. That's going to be a good learning project. Yeah, and then using AI to help you find things. I'm very confused. All right, we'll start looking further. Valid usage, valid usage. Okay, you know what? Let's get rid of the Vulkan headers. And then let's tell... So I'm not sure why this is included twice. Okay, let's look at Vulkan headers. Okay, remove it there and comment it out here. Okay, so that's step one. And then I bet you anything. I need an option to VK Bootstrap. And probably a way to tell it where the include is. Okay, let's get this to work first. I think what's wild about all the SN, like SCRN cat, SN printf, is somebody said, hey, sprintf and strcat is dangerous. Let's make a better one. So I go and make a better one. They go, oh, but in these 4 conditions, we're just not going to add a null terminator. They made functions that were also dangerous. It's like it's a sickness, man. They need to just have a moment in C where they like have a funeral for null terminated strings and then spend a couple years getting rid of them. They just don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit that null terminated strings were a bad idea. Do anything they can to keep it around. STRP break? Oh yeah. STRP break is well, don't use it. That's the first thing. As for parsing, let me make sure I'm remembering this right. Yeah, it's for parsing or lexing, I should say. So what you would do is you would look for like let's say here. So you'd have like a switch statement, and then you'd look for, like, let's say you hit this, you go, okay, so that's a god damn it, a variable. So then I want to look for any instance of the characters that would end a variable, so like any of these. So then you just move forward until you find that. It's not very good. It's got all kinds of problems. Hey, Comrade Soul. Hey, Chris, C is still like the only thing that matters, right? Yeah, you are a C fan. I really love C, man. C is kind of like my first love. But it's possible to love something and also realize it's totally broken and not gonna get fixed itself. It's a lesson for life. You can love someone and also hate what they do. What am I doing here? Oh, yeah. Okay, so we got some options to look at. Let me see. First thing, I think we got to tell it where the headers are there. Yeah, I got to look at this thing. Find library in the CC. Can I give you header include directories? Okay. And it's basically the same. Oh. I think this is include. Let's make a copy. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Let's make sure it's probably that. Oh, probably. No, okay, yeah, right there. Okay, so we have header include directories there, and then most likely we probably have to pass something here. Let's reset again. Everyone should do unprotected, unsafe programming the OG way. Yeah. In a safe environment where you don't catch a brain virus. Hey, Zenoman, how you doing? Fallon, how's it going? I'm actually kind of excited. So if the outcome I want is I get this little Vulkan project to work on Windows, right? But it's broken the same way. So it has the same problem that it does on Linux, right? Because then I can try using like RenderDoc and things like that to debug what's going on, right? The worst case scenario is it builds on Windows and works perfectly fine, which means it's a Linux / my GPU problem. And that's gonna suck. Because then that means I'm missing maybe a driver or something weird. But it's a AMD GPU, so I don't think I'm missing a driver. Array include, huh? What the hell are you talking about? What kind of fucking thing is that? Wait, what is this? Oh, God. Alright, well, let's see. It looks like we also need that, and then we need to, because, you know, it's not complicated enough. We have to also manually craft some jank-ass include object. You know, I just had a brilliant idea for sort of like a joke. Not a game jam, maybe like a code jam. It would be the ultimate architecture astronautics challenge. You have to recreate, we'll pick like something like Mason. Recreate Mason, but make it even more insane with the architecture. So how crazy could you go with the architecture? Okay, and then has headers. So no, okay, so then we have to also tag it as has headers. Vulkan.h, I'm guessing. We'll see what happens. Windows moment. Yeah, it's very weird that on Linux I don't have to do any of this. Like Linux is just, yep, rock. I think part of the problem is... Oh, I also have to add this to the path in here? No, I don't. No, I shouldn't have to. And just do like 50 AI prompts. It'll create that for you. Possibly, yeah. You could have two categories: AI generated and hand coded. make them separate, because I don't think you can compete with AI generated architecture astronautics. Automod is your bro today? Yeah, why didn't it block that? That's weird. You should write unit tests? Yeah, definitely you should. Oh, Fallon, doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good too, man. And Best Creeper, welcome back. Do we have a possible win? Okay, it likes that. Does it build? Alright, this song is giving me 80s romance novel cover. But then I would like to find out why I'm having to do this crap. And only on Windows. It'll be interesting. We also have to try this on OS X. I'm betting OS X is even easier. Nope. God damn it, man. Let me just make sure. Wait a minute. This is 328 and this is 333. Is that matching? Do these have to match up? Oh my god, man. Okay, well, there's some setting maybe. VK physical device. No. This is what we have to search for. Yeah, is it that sensitive on version numbers? Also, this is the VK bootstrap version number. Does that match the Vulkan version number? I suppose I could just grab. Okay, could be a version difference. Yeah. It's in an INL file, which is probably like an implementation thing. Yeah, it's part of Vulkan. So if I include that directory, the include is there, it says. Okay, all right, we gotta look in the VK bootstrap CMake. And also, let's go look at let's see the getting started. Build options. Vulkan header directory. All right, maybe we gotta set that. Wait, am I? Hold up. Let me get rid of that. Where's the VK bootstrap options? Here. Okay. We need this thing. Yeah. Let's try it. That's not it. Okay, I got that. Maybe that's it. Have you tried using Conan or VC package with Mason? No, I've installed the I've installed the Vulkan library directly, but if you want it to be cross-platform, you can't use VC package. And Conan is notoriously always very old, so it would have probably like Vulkan 3 or something. It just looks like there's like some setting in CMake specific to Windows. There's a missing include specific to Windows. Like you notice it's saying it can't find a device. Or maybe I need an NVIDIA, like a Vulkan NVIDIA thing. Something like that. Did we have some kind of success? It may be so. Okay, we get past the compile. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm using standard format. So then we run into the next Windows, man. Windows, man. Hey, okay, so this is all the bullshit you need to do. Wow. Okay, so we need to do need to add. Am I able to incrementally add this, or do I need to do a if else? Oh, this is gonna suck so bad. Yeah, I think I gotta do it like this. Okay, then we have the problem. It looks like it's the SDL main problem. Okay. Yeah, and then we're gonna have to round trip this back to the start. Also, oh, God damn it. Yeah, that means this is back. This is gonna get the type info error. So I can't use standard print here. Save the diff file for reference later. Yeah, I know, totally. Damn it, man, that sucks. Well, let's try it. Maybe we don't hit that bug here, but what was it again? GCC standard print. You need what's the name of that library? This thing. Because, you know, 5 years later, it's still experimental according to the GCC people. Now, this triggers a bug because for some reason in this library, they include the type info of functions from this static library. So when you statically link the two, you get a conflict. Only on Windows. So we got to eject standard print and standard format and go back to format for everything. I don't know why C++ people are so hostile to that. It seems kind of weird. Well, not C++ compiler people. It's just a nice, convenient way to do printing and formatting. And honestly, they need to do something similar for input. And just get rid of all the angle bracket inputs. But, yeah. And then, if I remember right, there's a problem with Clang. I might have to like fire up Clang to remind myself and maybe make a whole note. Yeah, okay. We'll try to switch to Clang. And I remember there's like another massive issue on Windows with Clang. I can't remember what it is though. And also maybe we gotta look and see if there's an update to WinLibs. Okay, let me see. Okay, so what does that do? What are we missing? Undefined reference to SDL main. Is that it? No, we're going to have the other error. Okay, so this is missing. I have it. SDL2 main is there. Shit. I know there's a... Yeah, we have SDL2 main. And confirm dependencies. Yeah, it should be included in the dependencies. The experimental library working? It looks like it. Because VK Bootstrap uses it. So it looks like it's booting up. But we'll have to see. So that looks like the last blocker. Now, I'm kind of curious why this is working in this project, but not in my other project. Remember I tried to do that whole converting to... Oh, you know what I bet it is? Yeah, I bet... I wonder if it's standard format. I'm kind of curious. Let's try main. And then let's see if that triggers that bug. That'd be really interesting, but then I'd still have to go and get rid of it. Which sucks. Let's see what we get. We'll get the link error with SDL2 main. You had issues with VK starting point because you synced starting point branch for old tutorial instead of starting point 2. And clear, but the buttons to download the repo do point to correct branches. You know, I think that's what I did. The Blanco. Actually, I think like initially I was starting off with that, and then I got to version 2, but because I have if we look in sources, Vulkan, I'm using this all chapters 2. So it's good. I actually get it running. But it's also not really clear what version you're working through on the VK guide. Test was not declared const expression. So? Huh? Yeah, it's not a const expression. So why do you care? What the fuck? Sometimes, man. Okay, I'm really curious. I'm gonna have to go and check because in my other project I went through all that trouble to try to use standard format and then ran into a bug where you have a link error. Wow, that's just really stupid. All right, anyways. Yeah, I gotta just get rid of it and just use the format library. But for now, it's barely working. Anyways, V Blanco. Let me go look at the Vulkan guide. Where I'm at. Vulkan, VK guide. Here. This may be the wrong one because this is my Linux side. Yeah. So I think I'm going through the correct one. New chapter 1. What's the next one? New VK guide, chapter 2. New VK. I'm assuming that's the version 2. That's what I'm going through. And then I got it. Yeah, I got the other one. Okay, so now the only thing that seems to be missing is SDL2 main. It's not being linked. Even though it's being included, do I have to do it again? I don't know. That'd be weird. Oh, I should start up Linux so we can compare and contrast. And also, I need to make sure it works on Linux. Okay, undefined reference to SDL main. All right, so we're missing, it's in there. I'm including it, so I don't know what your damn problem is. There's got to be, I swear, man. Oh, Mason SDL2 demo. Yeah. Here we go. They most likely have it in here. There's a demo using SDL2. And then they should have Windows settings. Ah, this bullshit. I bet it's this bullshit. Yeah, I bet it's this. Okay. I'm including that. Okay. All right, let's try it again. All right, everybody, we got an advertising. I can taste it. I can almost taste the rainbow. Taste the end of the tunnel. But then I think I have to do the work to remove standard format because I know I'll run into that build problem. Let's do a full reset. All right, so we have advertising starting. It's 3 minutes, so feel free to go take a little break. I'm just going to keep trying to get it to build, but yeah, maybe I'll wait. We'll see. I think it's a big reveal, so if there's an ad, I'll take a break too. During the ad break. Okay, let's look in there. So I'm including this. Okay. I bet there's an option I have to pass to maybe to enable it. All right, I think we're close. Let's see. No, I'm pretty sure there's like another option got passed to this. I think it's link args probably. Yeah, okay. Still Windows undefined reference to STL main. Okay. I'm including it. Just make sure. Yeah. It's a Windows only dependency. Let's see if the AI gets it right. I mean, it's weird that I have the dependency. Is it including this? Here, it's actually... Alright, here we go. Let's see if it's just missing that library and I gotta brute force it. Hello, select faster. There we go. Also, what a gross solution. Hold on. It's not even linking against SDL. Why? SDL? SDL? Yeah, there's libsdl2.a. But not .main? Okay, so let's go look for... Oh no, it's right there. What the hell? Why would it fail here? Weird. It's including the library. Is it just the ordering is weird? No, it could totally be that. We have to, you know, sometimes you have to do like the .a file twice because of the order. Oh, it's so terrible. Is that a link option? See, that's what this should be. Win subsystem Windows. I mean, we can try it. I don't think that's necessary. This is terrible. I've built a couple SDL2 based little apps. Why would it be needed in this in particular? All right, well, let's... I don't know, do I have to do this? Only on Windows? That sucks. Not sure if you answered. Did you get the experimental library to work? Noah's, yes. I assume so, because VK Bootstrap uses it. All right, maybe this is the fix, but this shouldn't... I shouldn't need to do this. If I gotta do that, that sucks, man. That means I'll have to do a jank if def. Okay, good. It's SDL main, right? Yeah. Oh, how much you want to bet? Oh, god damn it. Projects. I have no, I have a project. Anyways, let's just see if this is it. Oh my god, I can't remember. Ah, yeah, int argc. How much you want to bet? The function signature is wrong, so then it doesn't link to the proper function. God damn it. God damn it. Let's see, Scott B. I'm so happy. Dopamine rush after many days of learning and frustration. I feel I got Neri to see and configure my display link monitor. What is Neri? The Vulkans and examples for us seem a lot easier to build. Yeah, I bet it is, right? I bet almost any language is better than C and C++. And is that also on Windows? Yeah, I'm going to bet you $100,000. It's simply an ordering issue. You know what I mean? There's this common thing where, like, if you do, so like L Vulkan here, then you have to have the SDL libraries mentioned here again, because linkers are too dumb to do like a couple of loops and do a topological sort on the dependencies. But I wouldn't know how you would fix that. All right, so let me see if I can remember. I have a project that's working. Let's just confirm that works. Yeah, this project. SDL2 demo. Yeah, this is the demo. Yeah. Okay. Wait, why does this work? Wait, SDL2 main. Let's maybe we don't include it. That'd be really weird. I have no idea how to use Windows. Well, so on Linux, this builds just fine. Like, there's no issues on Linux. I'm also curious, OS 10. I bet OS 10 is pretty straightforward, too. I'm probably gonna have to do a full reset once I remove that. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So the entire point of the existence of this SDL2 main and all this shit, the main stuff, is because Windows actually has a weird main entry point into its binaries when you have anything that uses a window. So if you include this dependency, what? Why would that? Why? What? Hold on. Okay, we're gonna bring this back. It can't be true. So you're not supposed to include that anymore. What the hell is this? Is it only if you dynamically link? If you statically link, it's fine? Oh, that's so weird, man. Let's see. Neri is the coolest scrolling window manager. Oh, it's like a Linux thing? Let's go check it out. This is a long ass time ago. Last year. April 24th. Last year. When I first started playing with it. Is this one? It's a tiling window manager. Windows arranged in columns in an infinite strip going to the right. Opening a new window never causes existing windows to resize. Every monitor has its own separate window strip. Windows can never overflow into an adjacent monitor. Bullshit. You know, there's like this problem on Windows that if you code your game incorrectly and you say, how big is the monitor? Windows goes, oh yeah, it's totally the entire width of both monitors. So you'll get games that they'll have like a maximum width that they can support, right? Because it's a game. And it'll be something that's like widescreen, you know? So you'll frequently like, if you have two monitors and they're like this, and then someone codes their game to ask, how big is the monitor? Windows would say, it's this. And the game will go, that's too wide. So you must be widescreen. Okay, I'm this wide. So you have this like, this jank, and you can't see it too, because then it only renders in here, but everything's really weirdly distorted. So what I have to do, Kenji does this, a couple games do this. I start the game, and then I flip to another, like my web browser or something, and then flip back to the game, and it goes, oh, actually, you're only this big, and it fixes itself. Odin has that issue. You have to make SDL2 part of your project because it won't find it in Windows path. Not sure what you need for Vulkan, though. It's very similar. It's very, very similar. Because when you download the Vulkan SDK, it puts it into a directory and doesn't add the libraries to your path. And don't get me started on using the path to find dependencies, but interesting, yeah. Oh, here's a demo. Here's a demo of Neri, if anyone's curious. Okay, so it's like a vertical, a horizontal strip. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that could be a really cool way to do it. And then you still see part of the window over there. Yeah, that's neat. And I'm guessing when you Alt-Tab, it kind of slides to that spot. Yeah, that's cool. That could be really good for like the thing I'm doing right now, like live streaming. That'd actually give you a kind of a really neat dynamic look. While you're streaming, you're just sliding from like window to window. Yeah, that'd be a really cool presentation. Yeah, that'd look fancy as hell. Like you're there coding and you go sunk, 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 sliding between different things. Oh, cool. Yeah, this is totally streamer friendly. Yeah, might have to fire it up. How hard was it to get working? Scott, you said it was it's really good for laptops. Neat. Yeah. You said it was kind of hard to get to work. It's called Neri. Scott's been talking about it. It's a Wayland compositor that does basically the window infinitely scrolls to the left and the right, and then you can tile things on top. And it looks like it's designed for streaming, because you can say, "Oh yeah, don't show this in the OBS window," and it'll black it out. And so then you'll see in the demo, they'll slide it to the right to get to the next thing. Yeah, that would make a pretty interesting presentation style. Too bad I'm on Windows. Oh. No, sorry, I just had some unusual stuff. Oh, okay. Most likely then it'll be hard for me. Okay, so if we include the SDL2 main... Okay, I don't understand this. If you include the SDL2 main, it says I can't find SDL2 main. But if you don't include SDL2 main, it finds SDL2 main. I don't get it. Anyways, we can now try to run it. Yes, and see, then it fails. Okay, so then I just go like this and that. Oh no, let's do a full reset again. I want to make quadruple, triple sure. I actually kind of get a kick out of solving build problems like this. I hate it and also kind of like the challenge at the same time. Yeah, I may have to write this up. Maybe a little blog post for the 5 people who want to use Mason with Vulkan. How to use Mason with Vulkan on Windows. All right, so then I think I'd have to ensure that SDL2 is not using a different version of Vulkan, and also VK. What's that thing's name? Where'd it go? Yeah, Bootstrap, VK Bootstrap. God damn it. Okay. All right. Moment of truth. Okay. So on Linux, it shows nothing, even though we've configured the shader. Do I have the Spurvy compile? Yeah, I do. Okay. So well, that might be the first problem, but let's do make run. Okay, it's the same issue on both. Ah, we get an error though. I wonder if Linux, it's like maybe a null pointer dereference or some shit like that, and Linux is just like, that's cool. Bad variant access. Okay, all right, cool. This is progress. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, it's probably like some kind of uninitialized pointer, something like that. This is one of the advantages of making your stuff cross-platform. So even if you're like a Windows main hardcore or Linux hardcore, get your stuff to compile on Windows and OS X because the operating systems run different and have like, slightly different stuff. You run into all kinds of like, you'll have a memory error that you didn't have on Linux that you'll have on Windows, or some libraries missing on Windows. It turns out you're actually using the wrong one on Linux. Okay, VK Engine 240. Physical device selector. Interesting. Invalid variant. Okay, so did I mess this up? Okay, so now here's the thing. Let's switch that to 1.3 and just see if it runs. And that's from VK Engine 45. So it's initializing invalid variant. Interesting. Okay. That's kind of... It's something. It's something. Is it seriously 1.3 versus 1.4? Okay, so it looks like this type is wrong. Which means... Okay, let's try it. Why should I look at what type it does and I can let the compiler do it? So why didn't I get that error on Linux? Yeah, Linux just went to town. Also, why does it take so damn long to pick the, Okay, so physical device... Bad variant, okay. No, so this is something, okay, so there's an error. This is probably like, yeah. Okay, so there's an error. Actually, this looks like it might be an error in VK Bootstrap. Yeah, it looks like at this line of code, it's expecting something else. We can go look. However, if I go to 1.3, just say, okay, minimum version's 1.3. Then if we go 1.4, I can figure out what the features are. If I remember right, on Linux, I had to say 1.4 for it to work. Okay, well that takes forever. Graphics hook DLL loaded against process. Hello Vulk, Half-Life Scientist, everything seems to be in order. OBS? What the hell? Huh? They can't be OBS. The fuck? Hold on a second. Is OBS injecting itself and shit? I'm not running OBS. No, that has to be something else. Anyways, we have something on the screen. Okay, so I bet I have to recompile the shader. But Spurvy is supposed to be cross-platform, right? Yeah, okay. Make shaders. Yeah, that should work. Okay, it's not crashing anymore. But that's not the output we're supposed to get. It's something. That's kind of interesting. But hey. Let's see. Get 0. Looks like getting the first element of a tuple. Yeah. Hey, Sam, man. I didn't see you come in. Yeah, it looks like inside. So when we have 1.4, but I think only configured these, then the Vulkan. God, why can't I remember the goddamn name of that library? The builder thing doesn't know what it's getting back. So let's see if we can do 1.4 features. And I believe a physical structure device 1.4. I believe that's not the same in 1.4, but let's try it. So let me add this. Set required features. Oh, we have to rename it. Let's give each of these 1.4, 1.3. It might just be, maybe it's default available in 1.4. 1.4. And this one's my keyboard in the wrong spot. And this is 1.3. Yeah, it might be we don't have to request those features. They might be default, but let's see. Okay. Oh, hold up. 1.4, 1.4, 1.4, 1.3, 1.3, 1.3. No member name, synchronization 2. Yeah, I suspect when they move to 1.4. So there might be some options that I have to research that you need for these demos to work in 1.4. But I bet like when 1.4 just includes those. Yeah, and I'm betting the VK instance thing. Yeah, I think this project VK Bootstrap has a bug. It looks like it's getting a value it shouldn't be getting. It's expecting something different. So let me just do this. Actually, let me do my thing. .h here, line 126. init Vulkan 246 VKB result. Why is it pointing at a header file there? Alright, so then is there 1.4? Yeah, the VK physical device feature is probably empty. You don't need the features 1.4 at all. Okay, so this error is unrelated to like what's being set. I should be able to set version 1.4 and it runs, but weirdly it doesn't actually work. So I'm assuming I have to at least include I want these features, right? Gotta check it out. So if I change this to 1.3 and get rid of that. Okay. We don't get the variant error. We get the shader partially running. Which could be like, you know, I have an old ass GPU. Doesn't know what it's doing. Also, it takes a real long time to load it. Okay, so it shouldn't look like that. It should look like a rainbow. And I didn't hand code that shader. It's just copy pasta, so we can check it out though. All right, so this is better than what I get on Linux. I get nothing on Linux. Okay, so now if I change this to 1.4, no other changes, just 1.4 and only setting 1.3 features, then I get a crash inside this builder for an invalid variant. I'm using auto on this. So it should be the correct type being returned. It looks like inside VK Bootstrap right here. We could try disabling Vulkan 1.2. Yeah, so the in VKB result value variant error. Yeah, so there's some kind of error here at that point. This part, that function. So let's get rid of that. You might need to have a GPU that doesn't support 1.4. That's possible. Yeah. The old ass GPU. You're not supposed to give me that error. Yeah. Well, wait. Why would that be though? And then also, why would I get a variant error inside this? This, if it is a problem, I should get a completely different thing, not a variant error. Fine, whatever. But this is more progress than Linux, because Linux just shows a black screen. Okay, so we'll just set 1.3, that's it. Crash? Yeah, crash. With variant, so yeah, I'm not sure what the error response is on that. Okay. And it's also rendering incorrectly. So, the shader is version 4.30, so that could also be a thing. Does Windows have Vulkan info? Yeah. So the Vulkan SDK comes with like tons of shit. Like we can debug it. This is kind of why I wanted it to sort of work on Windows, so I can debug it, or not work on Windows, so I can try out the debugging tools. Yeah, so this is more progress than Linux right now. But now I'm curious, if we go back to Linux and switch it to 1.3, will it work? Okay, that's not what the shader is supposed to do, but this is better. This is also possible I'm missing something that makes the shader kind of rerun. Okay, let's bring back 1, 2. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Okay, I'm not going to commit this code. Let's get it to... Oh, wait, we don't need the features 1.4. So the GPU wouldn't have a problem with Vulkan 1.4. It would be the driver. I bet I have to get a new NVIDIA driver. Yeah, how much you want to bet my NVIDIA driver doesn't work? That shows the API versions available. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can try that. But give me a second. I'll be right back. And then let's go back to Linux and make this change. Force it to 1.3. And then let me show you this shader real quick. So it's just a compute shader. But it's version 460, so it's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that the graphics driver for my system on Windows is just old. Now on Linux, it should be the newest one because it's an AMD and it's a new version of Linux, so it should be fine there. Okay, cool. I like it. Okay, so VMT, the GLSL version, this kind of really only applies to the SPIR-V compiler. However, would the SPIR-V compiler output maybe 2 modern of a bytecode? Anyways, let's switch to Linux and see what we get. So that load time is nuts. That's crazy. Why would it take so long to do that? Most likely I got to update my GPU drivers. I'm going to bet you anything it's like a driver problem. I like your idea. The validation layers are... Yeah, they're enabled. That might be why it takes so long. Yeah. The validation layers are on. Well, let's switch to Linux. Let's see what Linux has got. We'll just make a small change, but then I'll try a commit. So my main computer is NVIDIA 3070 Ti. This one is a Radeon. Like, it's a mini PC, so it's not a very good Radeon. Like a 560 or some shit like that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have that. Learn Vulkan. Okay, so the main change was... where's the... features config. All right, let's switch this to 1.3. Okay, so on Linux, I don't even get the green squares. Yeah, okay, so this is Linux. Let's turn on the validation layers. I think I already have them on, but let's see. Yeah, so even with validation layers, this is what I get. So on Windows, I get something a little bit better. I get actual output. It's just, it's wrong. Hey, Riven, how you doing? I was wondering if you have any experience with cloud. Not a lot, not a lot. I tend to avoid cloud deployment like the plague so that I don't go bankrupt one morning because a few thousand people hit a web page. Validation layer and render doc are both. Yeah, I'm actually kind of into the idea of debugging this. Validation layer isn't complaining. I don't know. Is it possible it's just a how do I see what GPU I have? Oh my god, man. Cap proc. Oh my god, man. Do I have to install something? Oh, it'd help if I could spell Vulkan correctly. Info. Alright, so there's no Vulkan info, Vulkan tools probably. Yeah, Vulkan tools. Wait, is there a separate Vulkan validation layers? Am I just not actually linking to that? And so it doesn't work? That would suck. I've had an error the whole time, but I'm not linking to the thing. Vulkan tools. App install Vulkan tools. Alright, sudo. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. Okay, so it doesn't run. Blah 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 blah. What the shit is that? Aha! Yay! Okay, cool. We have info. All right, let me full screen this, boost this font so we can all see. Okay, these are the extensions we have. Vulkan instance version is 1.4321. I'm not clear on how important this minor version is. I'm assuming that they'll probably all work, but maybe there's... Because I'm going to do 1.3 only. Mesa device selection... Yeah, AMD Radeon 680M. So in theory, that should be fine. Although, on this system, I've had kind of weird color issues. I don't know if that's like a Linux thing or something like that. GPU ID 1? LLVM pipe? What the fuck is that? I don't have 2 GPUs in this thing. Yeah, okay, here we go. VK KHR Wayland service. I don't know, is like Wayland causing problems? I wouldn't put it past it. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff, yeah. I guess next is to learn how to debug these kinds of issues, which should be cool. I'm guessing validation layer is enabled, but no explicit print callback is used. Where the validation layer prints on its own is unknown. Yeah, you think so? Maybe. Okay, but that's progress. So, okay, we're going to round trip this build. It's back to Windows. Okay. All right, clear. Okay, let's triple check it actually worked. Oh, let's add it. Git add readme, git add scripts. All right, and I'll rely on the git diff. I kind of want to document this in the readme. I just confirm what I threw in there. Let me just do, currently you're running a list of notes. Also, this music sucks. I'll change the music, folks. I have chosen if your grandma's romance novels were a music genre. That is what I've chosen. Let's do down-tempo electronica. Yeah. Let's modernize it slightly. We're going to switch from your grandma's romance novel to your big sister's romance novel. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's just double, triple check. Okay. Get a rebuild. Commit it. We'll flip over to Linux for a little bit. Get Linux to build. And then, yeah, so next session, let's see if we can figure out what's wrong with render doc. What was the other thing someone mentioned? Render doc and 50 Shades of Code. Terrible. I don't own any jeans, so I can't do that. I only have Lululemon shorts because I live in Florida. Let's see, Blanco. The validation layers might not be enabled. A lot of stuff changed. They should be spamming the logs with info at startup. Yeah, okay. So that's definitely probably something. So even though I've configured them to do it, I'm going to bet you anything I'm missing a library or something like that, or another setting. Okay, and then make run. Let's see. Peter. Good morning, my name is Peter. I have a quick question for you. Could you give me some advice on whether you know any CCTV archaeological monitoring programs so I can use such a tool on Windows 11, because on the internet you say there's practically everything to test? Geez, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, what you probably want to Google for is... Okay, so this is as far as we get. Now, at the end of the tutorial, it looks completely different. So, but we have squares. I think this is a bonus. We have squares. I'm still suspecting kind of like a memory error. That totally looks like the kind of thing that you would get if you had like a dereferenced pointer, use after free, something like that. So most likely there's an error in my code somewhere. Okay, so now working on Windows, let's say working sort of on Windows, now to try on Linux. Okay, Peter, super quick. You want to look for open source CCTV monitoring program. Zone Minder. Have you tried that? And this is the search you want. Search for that. Okay. Okay, switch to Linux. Okay, pull that. Git checkout. VK engine. Git pull. And let's do this reset build. The alternating stripes make me think at least a least significant bit of a color channel. Possibly. Yeah. Like the buffer is RGB 565. Possibly. Yeah, you think like a color setting issue? I could see that. I can link you the actual shader. And the shader's just straight from the guide. Let me just pop back here. And remember, I've had color issues with that exact GPU. Remember, like my game has like really dark, weird colors on that little PC. But I don't know if that's like a Wayland thing or a... Yeah, it could be like anything. Okay, here's the shader. And it's just supposed to be, if you look at the end of VK guides, let me look at code commits here. Okay, it's supposed to look like this. Okay, so I'm trying to get done. We got an ad that's going to start in like 5 minutes. Let's see if I can snooze it a bit more. Okay, 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes because I do have to actually go do something shortly. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it currently looks like. So it could be color issues, could be a code error that's causing a memory over buffered thingy majiggy, I don't know, something like that. A missed step in the guide, any of those things. Okay. Okay, still not working. All right, cool. Is there render doc for Linux? No. Okay, so I guess, yeah, we're going to have to... Binding to the... Alright, doesn't do anything. Make run. Yeah, okay, cool. So nothing works. Classic. I love it. And let's just confirm main... VK engine. Yeah, where's the info? Hold up. Yeah, minimum version 1.3. Oh, hey, hold up. Oh, wait. What if we do 1.4 there, and we do 1.4 here? And let's do that on Linux, on Windows. I bet that's like a version skew problem there. Let's try 1.4, and then features 1.3. Let's go 1.4. Okay, Linux. Back to Linux. Hello, come on, switch. No, okay, so, yep, still busted on Linux. Any number of possible issues on Linux, because it's Linux. Yeah, okay, so if I try to use... Alright, so I'm betting you anything. I'm betting you anything. My NVIDIA driver is just too old for 1.4. Yeah, I bet you anything that's what's up. Alright, so off camera I will... Oh, I hate updating my graphics drivers. That's when like everything stops working. Windows, man. Alright, I'll get the latest NVIDIA drivers and we'll see if we can get 1.4 to work. And we'll see if that's the issue with the shader. Like maybe there's a possible Yeah. I think my graphics drivers, I think the last time I updated them would be like, I'm embarrassed to say, maybe 2 years ago. Because there was a really bad version that came out that broke everything I run. It looks like it might be an issue on the image formats and swap chain present. I'm betting, so yeah, I'm thinking it's either one, my drivers are too old, I'll update those. On Linux, I bet in this code I missed a step in the guide, and there's probably a buffer that's not getting set correctly in the either the swap chain or the pipeline. I bet I have an error in both of those. But let me get the code, and then people can actually grab it and try it out. But also, let's say like no spoilers. If you figure it out tonight, we're going to use RenderDoc and every debugging thing I can find to solve it. And then everything that I can do, I'm going to try to debug it, because I'd like to use this to learn to debug this kind of issue. I imagine you run into this all the damn time. Then if I get super stuck and anybody figures it out, you can just say, it's this. You missed this one line. And then in the guide, I'm just going to say it is unclear. All right, so towards the end of the guide here, this, I don't know where this goes. I don't know if it's very vague. We'll replace the VK command clear. That word is not anywhere in the code. I don't know. Do I replace the entire function where the original draw call was being done, draw background? I don't know if I put it after. I don't know what the draw background function becomes. I think that's the big place where this flaw is probably at. I don't know where this code goes. So in my code, I just tried a few things, and when you look at draw background, it's just that. This seems to be the only thing that got me something. So I don't know if I'm missing an additional step here. So it could be that too. It could be like any of these things aren't initialized correctly, or this isn't done right. There's a 16-bit per channel on the screen is 8-bit. That'd probably give some stripes like that. Possibly. So this draw function is correct. Okay, so then I probably missed maybe the pipeline isn't configured correctly. The descriptor sets might not be right. Yeah, so anyways. All right, everyone. I got to get you out of here before the next ad. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's fun. I kind of love Vulkan. It's got a lot of C++ energy. That's the best way to explain it. It's got that C++ energy. Way too complicated, but crazy powerful, and I could see doing anything I want with it, even though I'm probably just going to use a game engine.